So for his third symphony, Beethoven again goes up one notch in the keys. He goes now to E flat major. And that has since become a symbol of an almost heroic key in music. And if I should choose one word for this symphony, it would be human ideal, or maybe idols. Beethoven himself called the symphony Eroica. And it was called that because Beethoven was not just a composer. He was also very politically and humanistically engaged in the world. And as we see in his whole production of music, he can be very depressed at times, or seem very depressed, because he actually takes the world very seriously. And at this time, there's a lot of turmoil in Europe with Napoleon. Right. And many people see Napoleon as a hero, a savior, someone who breaks the old conservative ideals and can almost free Europe. Because Europe was made up of kings and queens and emperors and people who had power, who were in power and controlled people. And Beethoven was very humanistic. He believed in the free spirit, he believed in democracy, and then suddenly something happens. He composes his third symphony, and he wants to dedicate it to Napoleon. But then suddenly, Napoleon, he decides to name himself emperor. Right. And that makes Beethoven incredibly angry. He rips off the front page, and instead of having dedicated it in writing to Napoleon, he now calls it Eroica, which means heroic symphony. So now it's not about Napoleon, it's just about a hero, or as he writes, in the memory of a great man, dedicated to the memory of a great man. And I might even add, maybe it's to the memory of a great human. And that's why I see the ideal or the idols as a key point in this symphony. The thing that makes this symphony very Beethoven-esque from the beginning is that Beethoven always either does something to confuse us, something radical to confuse us, or something radical to tell us, this is what I want to say. And this is one of the symphonies where he really says, this is where we are going now. Can you imagine what a shock it must have been for people? At that time, people would sit at concerts and speak until the music began, and even into the music. They would be chatting, they would socialize, they would be laughing, and they would even react if there was something in the symphony or in the music that they didn't like. But Beethoven, he completely breaks this. Bam! Bam! And I think people at that time must have gotten a shock.